Hey everyone, Chemos here from Beard Profile. Today with what I think is an important topic, beard brushes versus beard combs. Which one is better than the other? Now, we'll start with the pros and cons of, well, not really the cons, there aren't too many cons, but I'm sure we'll throw one or two in there. But we'll start with the brushes. Now here at Beard Profile, we generally like to look as styled and groomed and good looking as possible. And I know that with beards, as a bearded guy, I'm sure you realize that there's a huge difference between looking like a hobo and looking like a sexy bearded man, So these are two useful tools that can help you look like that second one rather than the first one. Now, with the beard brush, which I'll throw up on the screen here so you can see a little bit easier. Pro number one of the brush: stimulation and blood flow. Brushing your face with a boar bristle brush will help stimulate blood flow and essentially bring out nutrients from the blood into your follicles, which is great for your hair. It will also, number two, help tame flyaways and flatten voluminous beards. If you have a really big beard and you tend to prefer a little bit of a flatter style on your cheeks, a lot of guys, they like to take the brush and flatten out their cheeks a bit. That helps a lot. That will considerably take down a lot of the volume, and then you can leave the volume down at the bottom. Number three, the boar's hair brush trains the hair, which helps styling it every day a lot easier. Now, when I say train the hair, when our hair grows out, we have our own pattern, the way that the follicles bring out the hair. For instance, my right side tends to grow down and back a bit, and my left side grows almost straight down. And obviously I would prefer that they're both the same, so with the brush that helps tremendously with my right side to bring it straight down, and it makes our faces look more symmetrical because we are in fact asymmetrical, and with a beard it tends to help us look a bit more symmetrical so long as we can style it that way. Number four, the brush helps to exfoliate. So if you're prone to dry skin and you're always getting beard-druff, which by the way, beard-druff is a misnomer because technically dandruff is not the same thing as dry scalp, but let's move on. It can help take away that dry skin, and that kind of clears the path. It kind of clears up your follicles in your skin so that when you do apply oils and such, you can get them deeper into your skin and get better hydration through that. Number five, the boar bristle brush will help to apply your oils and balms more evenly. So say after you've washed and pat dried your beard, you can go ahead and put some oil into your hands, rub it into your beard, and then you can brush it, and that will help spread the oils more evenly. One con of the brush is that it can be quite harsh to your face, so if you're constantly brushing your face day in and day out, you will eventually get irritated red skin. And I would say if that happens, just stop brushing so often. You might also be creating split ends in your beard depending on how you're brushing, so don't brush too often. You should really only need to do it 1 or 2 times per day. When to use the brush: you can use the brush at all stages of beard growth, whether you have just stubble or you have a monster beard. It will help either way, and it will still stimulate either way. My recommendation is to use a 100% boar bristle brush, similar to this one that I've been showing. It does not have any fake bristles in there, no nylon bristles, and it's just 100% pure boar hair. Now, if you have, for some reason, religious reasons or whatever reason you have, it doesn't really matter. If you can't use boar's hair, then opt for a horsehair brush, which, but keep in mind with a horsehair brush, it'll be a lot softer. This boar's hair is fairly stiff, and it does come in different stiffnesses, stiffnesses. Um, but in general, it'll be fairly stiff. As opposed to horsehair, it will be considerably softer, which will mean it will also have less of that stimulatory effect when it comes to the blood flow and stimulation. Now moving on to the combs. Here, another comb here, wooden comb here, and a pick here, which I'll throw up a couple of these on the screen as well so you can see them a bit easier. Now, the pros of a comb is that for longer beards, the beards that are coming off your face, they can help reach your neck area a lot easier, and you can really get the knots out, because if you have a curly beard, it will start knotting if you're not regularly de-knotting it, if that's what it's called. Or if, say you've been using the brush, but now your beard is too long at the bottom to brush down there, because I don't force the brush through. I mean, at this stage of my personal beard growth, it's only about 2.5 months, and it's fine. I can use that brush down here just fine. But when I had a bigger beard, like, closer to about a year's worth of growth, I would never use the brush. Almost never, actually. I would sometimes do it, but I wouldn't want to brush like that, because it's just gonna damage your hair. You're just forcing it, and you want to be a bit more gentle. So I think with a comb, it'll be a lot easier to get down in there and style it. Another pro to the comb is that it won't necessarily flatten your beard. So if you do want that volume and you don't want to take that volume away, you can use the comb, and that will help create volume if you want. Although, on the other hand, you can also take volume away if you use it at a certain angle, somewhat flat toward your face, and then comb down as you're using your hand to help flatten it. So it's a bit more versatile. When to use the comb. When your beard has started to come off your face, maybe around 2 to 3 months of growth, that's a good time to start using the comb. I wouldn't recommend using it when your face is shaved, because there's really no point. At that point, you should just go ahead and do a finger massage if you want that blood flow. But yeah, 2 to 3 months, it depends on how fast your beard grows. Mine is about 2.5 months right now, and I started combing it maybe around 2 months in, and the comb does kind of help. The brush helps a little bit more at the stage that I'm at, but the comb does help. Now, my recommendation is to use a Kent comb, because cheaper plastic combs, they have seams in between the teeth, and those will shred your hair without you even realizing it. You're just combing with these seams. And this is actually this pick here, which I'll try and throw up on the screen. This one I don't use any longer, but it does have the seams in between there, and that is not good for hair at all, whether it's beard hair, head hair. Cheaper combs that are made out of plastic, they tend to have those seams, and they tend to be made not by hand, so I would opt not to get those, because the Kents, they're not too much more expensive than a regular cheap comb. They're actually really affordable, but really great at the same time. And many higher end beard companies tend to outsource their combs to Kent, and they put their own brand right along there where it says Kent. Great combs. Now, for the question of the video, comb versus brush, which one should you get? I would say both. I mean, That's my personal preference. But if you had to choose one over the other, I would say get the brush. It's a little bit more versatile in the sense that it's better for the stimulation factor. It's better for the decreasing volume factor. And if you did need to kind of pick out your beard, you could use your fingers just fine. I tend to, not now, but when my beard was bigger, I used to kind of pull it out a bit with my fingers, and that really helped. And it didn't look too much different from just using a comb. And actually, I found it a bit easier, to be honest. So, between the two, I would say get both, honestly, because they're not expensive. They're pretty cheap, and they both help tremendously. So, get both. If not, go ahead and go for the brush. That's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Now, my question for the end of this video, if you have made it, do you use either of these two things, a brush or a comb, for your beard? If not, why not? And if you do, which of the two, if not both? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Like this video if it helped you, if you just liked it, and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you in the future. Until next time, Camos out.